All right, this is Quacker from GMS, Virginia. Coming back at you again. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashmi Abushah, Bashmi Kakwadash. Second, I want to give the honors to the apostles of GMS, Bulufel, and the people, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect. And there's a title, Buldak Noodles, the kids' delight, trendy, and top ramen noodles. And basically, it's going to be on health, how a lot of so-called Black, Latino, Hispanic, Native American kids are brought up not knowing anything about real nutrition or health. And this is why a lot of us, when we grow up, um, have health problems. And this also go to the curses because our environment, our um, what is it? The stores that are around us, our poverty, the oppression, and these agendas that's been, um, how you say, put on our people to destroy us as a nation. So I got this article, chemicals in the noodle Buldak, and I discovered this. I got my family members, which the kids like, and talks about it messes with the kids' fertility. But again, growing up, if you constantly are eating this, it will eventually build up to destroying your reproductive system. And if you know the history of Esau, this was one of the main goals that Esau has always been trying to do to our people is destroy our reproductive system. Let me get this real quick. Exodus, I think it's 20. Let me get this real quick. It might be the first one. So let me bear with me one moment. Okay, so yeah, Exodus 1:1. Oh, let me make sure. Yep. So this goes into the Israelites are treated cruelly in Egypt. Let me understand today. So I'm gonna jump around. Um, the sons of Jacob who went 1:1. The sons of Jacob, Exodus 1:1. The sons of Jacob who went to Egypt with him, each with his family, were Reuben, Simeon, Levi, intermingled within all the tribes. So it says, I'm gonna jump around 7. But their descendants, the Israelites, had many children and became so numerous and strong that Egypt was filled with them. And this is what you see here in Babylon, the great modern day Egypt, which we call America, because our people are everywhere, from the Native Americans, so-called Native Americans, the so-called West Indians. You got Jamaicans, Trinidadians, what is it, Barbadians, etc. Um, you got the Latinos and you got the Hispanics and you got the so-called blacks here. So, so the modern day Egypt is filled with our people. Then a new king who knew nothing about Joseph came to power in Egypt. He said to his people, "These Israelites are so numerous and strong that they are a threat to us." And these Edomites, they know who we are. They know our history, and unfortunately, our people don't know what's going on. And due to the fact that, again, you could just read Deuteronomy 28, start at verse 15, because when you read 1 through 15, it talks about the blessings that if we follow the law, statutes, and commandments, which we didn't. So these curses are upon us. You can read from 16 on down to 68, and it talks about the plagues and the curses. Now, the fact that we don't know what's going on, we don't understand that our enemy, the so-called white man, has destroyed us mentally, physically, but mentally, physically, and psychological. We don't understand that the very foods that we eat is to destroy our people, and it's actually affecting um, a lot of people here in America. But the main focal point is to destroy so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, their reproductive systems, the infertility. It's not a coincidence why the autism is at an all-time high, retardation in children. The children are being born with health problems. Uh, what is it, allergies, etc. These kids aren't right, and they're not even being guided or led right. So what's going on is these kids are being born in this society, and the parents aren't parenting, and these kids are just doing whatever they see on TikTok. So the worst things that are being fashioned on TikTok, and the cycle goes on. Ever since we integrated into the society with the so-called white man, ever since the civil rights, our people have pretty much been doing bad. So it says, in case verse 10, in case of war, they might join our enemies in order to fight against us and might escape from the country. We must find some way to keep them from becoming even more numerous. So yeah, so it talks about how they um, made us work hard, oppressed us, etc. And they had no pity for us. So it says, verse 15, this is in the GNT. Then the king of Egypt spoke to Shiphrah and Puah, the two midwives who helped the Hebrew woman. When you help the Hebrew woman to give birth, he said to them, kill the baby if it's a boy, but if it's a girl, let it live. But the midwives were um, God fearing, and so did not obey the king. Instead, they let the boys live. So let me see. Jumping down, 19, they answered, the Hebrew women are not like Egyptian women. They give birth easily, and their babies are born before either of us gets there. So eventually, it was a plot, and they didn't, which the kings of Egypt told those women to, make a strategic plan to destroy the babies and destroy the kids if it was a boy. And one thing, they allowed the woman to proceed because of eventually, you can control women, But overall, going back to this Buldak, so it says, here are the main chemicals you'll usually find. Number one is flavor enhancers. These boost the savory taste, umami, whatever you say it, MSG, monosodium glutamate, the sodium and inosinate, and this sodium. The fact that I'm struggling to even say this shit, it shows you right there that's a problem. Why is this shit in your noodles? Why is this shit in your food? And see, this is why obesity runs very high in our communities. So is it not ironic that the women back in the 70s and the 60s, they were roughly 120, 130, and now all these women today are what? Fucking linemen. They can put shoulder pads. You can put shoulder pads on these broads. You know, it's not by coincidence. It's due to the fact that the buildup of these chemicals inside our body, which eventually affects our offspring. Which again, our people don't. You've been taught to love this society, so you don't look at the society as nothing wrong or the pleasures of the society. So you're not mad, you're not angry, and you don't have hatred in your heart. So you go along with the flow. So when you go to the store, whatever seems good, whatever looks good to your eyes, and whatever tastes good, you pick up because you don't believe that your own government is out to destroy you, and you wonder why your body is messed up. You got a bunch of aches. You can't think right because again, you are what you eat, and these doctors are not going to tell you not a goddamn thing. All they're going to do is when you get sick, they're going to put another drug or some more chemicals in you. You know, um, there's many holistic doctors. One comes to mind is Yaki, Bobby Price. You have Sebi's son, Dr. Sebi, and there's many more. So, when you go to the living section, which is the fruit and the vegetables, you got to even be careful with that. Really overall, that's really like your only hour that you have that's, real food. Everything on down from there is full of chemicals because why is there more than one ingredient or more than one two ingredient in the item that you pick up? And that's one and that's one thing too. Nobody looks um, in the back of the packaging no more and see what you're putting in your body. And you got to understand your body. When you put these things in your body has no choice but to try to break it down. And just like you have different animals, different things out there that got different digestive tracts and digestive system to break certain things down, our body don't have certain these digestive abilities to break these chemicals down. So what happens? It stays in our body, does cause cancer, does cause problems, toxins, and the buildup of all sorts of other things. So it makes your body do what? Work harder. And our people, they hate, eating healthy. They don't like detoxing, which, if you're living in America, you should be detoxing and trying to put those nutrients and minerals back in your body. Because every day here in America, you're basically zapping all of that out of you, trying to survive and manage yourself here in America. So number two is preservatives stabilizers. Helps it last longer and stay consistent. So TBHQ, common preservative, and instant noodles. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Even in my household that I grew up in, we were the fucking noodle gods. We had tubs of. We're talking about what you call it, like tubs of containers like this, two tubs of just fucking seasoning packets for noodles, man. You know, you were the noodle gods, and you put in your hot dogs in it. You put the bologna in it, whatever. How you say you sauce it up. What's the word that Jake used? Man, I can't even think of the word, but you get what I'm saying. And the hot dogs is even worse. The bologna is even worse. A lot certain Jake put ketchup, put all different things and sorts of things up in there, different creams, whatever. Jake was, how you, I can't think of the word, but yeah, in my household, we grew up off noodles, man. And this is why a lot of us, had health problems, obesity problem, we gained weight, teeth problem, health problems, etc. What that though, our health eating patterns as a kid, it builds up. Now as you're older, all that stuff is in your body, you know. That's why, honestly, you got to thank God Bashing and Rashad that we haven't dropped dead living here in America. The fast food, the McDonald's, the Burger Kings, the Wendy's, the what else is out there? The cookouts, the Cheez-Its, the chips, the what you call the ice cream, all sorts of stuff is see these things, they are still in our body, you know. So, and again, growing up here in America, we're not taught anything about anything health, anything, how to eat fruit, detox, not, you don't have to, if you don't eat in a day, you're going to drop dead. This whole mindset and upbringing here in America, is very demonic and toxic, chemical, and very bad for the health. I was watching the video with Yaki Awaken. He pretty much said he was watching a video about the blue zone, and people who live all the way to about 100, over past 100, and still able to manage themselves, cook, walk, exercise. And I believe it was Singapore, because some people over there, they're, how you say, is they don't live in an acidic, toxic, chemical warfare environment. But when you come to America, as soon as you come to America, what is it? Everything is chemicals, man. Toxin. Your food is messed up. Your water's messed up, the air's messed up, everything's polluted here in America. Because America is a corporation. It's not about living righteous. It's not about being being in order or discipline. It's about just consuming. So our food is messed up, and the kids are messed up. Just like, for instance, as a kid, we used to go to the soda machines, which that's not even real. That's not even a real drink. That's nothing but chemicals, man. You know, you go to the store, you get the Capri Suns, you get the Tampico, you get the Bright and Early. These are not real drinks, man. Those are nothing but chemicals, man. You go to the corner store, you got the candy, you got the chocolate, the chips, the ice cream sandwiches. You get the whatever. If they cook fast food there, you get it there. Nothing but the vegetable oils. This was our upbringing. And this is why we have the problems that we do in our body now. So continuing on, and these kids don't know no better, because these parents are not even parents. All they do is, they go to the store and buy whatever they think their kids like, or they think their kids is going to eat, like Hot Pockets. What else was out there? Um, Cereal. Cereal is a main concern. So again, citric acid regulator, sodium carbonate, potassium carbonate controls noodle texture. Nothing but chemicals. Three, artificial and natural coloring gives it that red orange look. So this is nothing. This is not a true um, color. This is the chemical. So paprika extract, caramel color, sometimes riboflavin, vitamin B12, B2 coloring. Four, thickeners and texture agents make sauce thicker and noodles chewy. Modified starch, guar gum, xanthan gum, soy lecithin, emulsifier. Five, oils and processed fats. Palm oil used to fry the noodles. All these oils are very bad for your body. Again, I'm gonna look up another thing too. Six, sodium heavy compounds. Why it's so salty and spicy? Sodium chloride, soy sauce powder, hydrolyzed vegetable protein. Seven, spicy compounds. I'm gonna jump over. Biggest health concern ingredients people talk about: high sodium, MSG, TBHQ, and palm oil. So another one, Buldak noodles for infertility. Let me see what it says. Hold on, let me take this off. All right, so let me see. So Buldak noodles manufactured by Samyang Foods are considered generally safe for, this is the AI, for moderate consumption, but can be harmful if eaten regularly or in excess. So if it's, again, remember, one thing that Esau does is, in the warfare of food, he puts just enough in the food so you won't drop dead there, or right there in the instant. It's a buildup. It's a build. It starts accumulating in your body. These toxins, this waste, these chemicals, and eventually, when you start getting older, it's not ironic that high blood pressure. Man, there's people getting high blood pressure in their 20s at a young age, diabetes, uh, low sugar, pancreas about to erupt, kidney failure, liver failure, or in all types of health disease, is because of what? The food. Your body is not breaking this stuff down, and it's overworking. So it says, but it can be harmful if eaten regularly or in excess, primarily due to extremely high sodium levels. And remember, when you look at, let me see something. I'm gonna go up real quick. I want to check up. Hold on. All right, so boom. After I finish this, I'm gonna go to top ramen. So, primarily due to extremely high sodium levels, high capsaicin content, and lack of nutritional value. So this doesn't have no nutritional value. So if it doesn't have any nutritional value, it's stripping your nutrition that's inside of you. Specific ultra spicy variants, the 3 times and the 2 times spicy, will briefly be called in Denmark in 2024 due to risk of acute cap- capsaicin poisoning. It says acute poisoning, high spice variants in 2024. Danish food authorities recalled 3 Buldak varieties, 3 times spicy, 2 times spicy, hot chicken stew because their high capsaicin levels could cause acute poisoning, particularly in children and vulnerable adults. Symptoms include burning, nausea, vomiting, and high blood pressure. So again, this just shows you this is not real food. This is not something you should be putting in your body or allowing your kids to eat. Let me get this real quick because we live in a new generation now where these fucking parents are even parents. So let me get this real quick. So Sirach 30:9, it says, "Conquer thy child, and he shall make thee afraid. Play with him, and he will bring thee to heaviness." It refers to overindulge in children. So it says, definition: to treat with excessive tenderness, fondle, or indulge. Um, Cocker means to pamper, indulge, or coddle a child, and that's the average parent today. Soft as hell, a bitch ass parenting, and let the damn child tell you what to do. So, meaning the verse advises that pampering a child leads to fear and sorrow for the parent. Um, Let me see. Give me one moment. So let me see. Okay, so boom. So Proverbs 13:24. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes. It emphasizes that loving discipline is essential to prevent children from becoming spoiled, wayward, or destructive. Proverbs, let me see. Um, Purpose of discipline: the rod, often interpreted as a metaphor for guidance or gentle correction, not just physical abuse. Because everybody believes, if you spank a child or correct a child, it's fucking abuse. But see, that's that shit you learn from the so-called white man. And this is why you always had stories in the comedian world. You used to have jokes about Timmy shooting up his whole family, and the fucking white woman and the so-called white man being scared of their own damn child, their own child running them out the damn house. So it is used to correct a child's natural tendency toward foolishness and to guide them toward wisdom. And because again, they're kids, they don't know no fucking better. If something tastes good, hey, why not fucking run to it? That's why you got to be a parent and tell them kids, yo, chill out, chill the fuck out, go sit your ass down. Now you're not eating that shit, man. It is what it is. And then yeah, they gonna say, "Oh, I hate you. You're mean." Oh well, oh fucking well. They'll be alright. They're not gonna die. Send them to Haiti. Send them somewhere. Here it is. There's kids in other countries. They ain't got nothing. They got nothing to fucking eat. That's living completely bad. Here it is. Your ass. These children over here spoiled as hell, man. You know. So it says a child's natural tendency toward foolishness. So as a kid, if you don't guide or correct a child, is going to have a natural tendency, especially this generation we live in now, where everything is so trendy, social media. If in our day and age, you taught the child not to follow the child that's out there in the streets or out there outside. Not if he's doing wrong, don't follow him. But here it is, these children now got phones in their fucking hand, and they can fucking look at some stupid shit in Asia somewhere, in a complete whole country, and fucking follow that trend. Everything is trendy. If it's on TikTok, Snapchat, whatever those outlets are out there, then if it's trendy or catchy, man, these kids following it, man. And why? Because what? The parents ain't doing shit. So Proverbs 22:15 states that foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him. So it says, yep, Proverbs 23:13-14. Withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. Thou shalt beat him with the rod, and shall deliver his soul from hell. So, purpose of love, it says, discipline is not to be done in anger, but to guide the child and save them from harmful paths. So, the concept focuses on rearing children with firm, loving, and consistent correction to build character rather than indulgence, which results in a spoiled, unruly child. See that? And this is why these kids you see today are the way they are, because first and foremost is no fear of men. These mothers have, feminism, and these women have become whores, and they done soaked in all that shit they seen on TV and the radio and in the movies. I don't need a man. I don't need this. I can raise a child all by myself. I'm strong. I'm independent. And then here it is. The women are mentally wrecks. So what do? Their guilt and their whatever they got going on in their head. And also, in order to keep them from going to the dad, they'll just spoil the damn child, man. You know. But again, this whole society is messed up. The family, the whole infrastructure of a family, a righteous man, a father to protect and provide and be able to, protect his household. Man, that shit have been torn up, man. And that was deliberately done by the so-called white man, just so they can have the people that they have today in this world, the lovers of this world. Because these people love this goddamn world. All you doing, these people are doing is rearing up their child for Esau, the so-called white man, to devour them. And see, this is why so-called black, so many so-called black, Latino, Hispanic, Native American, West Indian children they're just prey. They're open for attack because their parents haven't told them not a goddamn thing. You don't even tell your child that you're in war. You're at war. So what do your child do? He grows up. He goes out there in the world. He's unprotected. He just he's green. Oh, here it is. Oh, this is good. Let me taste it. I like that. I like that. I like that. Just fucking, just a complete idiot. And this is why eventually these people, they eventually get sorrowful. They become sorrowful because what your children end up becoming fuck ups, doing bad on drugs, etc. But shit, Esau been putting drugs in your children since a fucking child. since a baby. You deliver the child, he injected, he gets his Similac, and this is another reason what's going on too is a lot of these moms who's having these kids they can't even breastfeed. Is that that's not a coincidence, man? So continuing on, I mean, all right. So harmful effects of noodles. Because see, during our era, this was the top shit. This was top notch. Every household had this in their top ramen, maruchan, whatever the hell you call it. You know, those shits were cheap as hell back in the day. I think like what $1 used to get you like what 10 packs, maybe more. You know, shit, man. We used to get them dollars. Man, we come back with man what? Correct me if I'm lying. And I remember when Maruchan was top notch. Top ramen wasn't even what you wanted. You wanted the Maruchan. So it says top ramen. AI. Trying to play both sides. So it's the top ramen in most instant ramen isn't poison or anything, but eating it a lot can definitely have some downsides. Harmful effects of eating top ramen often very high sodium salt. One pack can have a whole day's worth of sodium. Too much sodium can lead to high blood pressure, heart disease risk, water retention, bloating, kidney strain. See, again, because what? This is not food. Low nutrition, too. Ramen fills you up but doesn't give your body much. So it's low in fiber. So that what does that mean? That shit stays in you. So your body's like, yo, what the fuck do I do with this shit? You know what? Put that shit in your thigh. Put that shit in your around your ankles. Put that shit in your bicep. Put that shit in your chest. Keep that shit in your stomach. That's why you had what's that? Visceral fat. Because your body, all this food fuck up your hormones, and it throws your hormones off. So what happens? Your body starts to basically try to work itself out, but it says, you know what, I can't do nothing with this. Store it somewhere, then just leave it there. But it's actually what your body is doing is keeping them chemicals away from your body, so eventually it won't poison you. Because the chemicals, if it get in your bloodstream, it really will fuck you up. And this body, oh, man, Yahweh Shem Shah is bad. How he made our bodies, how the daily function of a body. But again, Esau, the so-called white man, this America, Babylon the Great, modern day Egypt. He has destroyed everything. Everything is chemical warfare. He did all this to do what? Break you down. So, and this is why you got a bunch of weirdos, man. Today you just see a bunch of weird fucking people. And this is not a coincidence, man. So it said low in vitamins, minerals, low in protein unless you add some. So you can feel full but still be nutrient deficient. And this is what a lot of us are. We were nutrient deficient. 3, high in unhealthy fats. Many ramen noodles are fried before packaging. That can mean higher saturated fat, higher calories, increase increased risk of weight gain if eaten often. 4, processed ingredients. Instant noodles contain preservatives and additives like MSG and some brands. Eating lots of heavily processed foods long term can increase risk of inflammation, obesity, and heart problems. 5, blood sugar spikes. The noodles are mostly refined carbs that can cause quick energy crash, increase hunger later, higher diabetes risk over time if diet is mostly like that. You see, this is why Jake suffer. That's why eventually they got to cut off a leg, cut off some fingers, because Jake is fucked up, man, and they don't understand. You go to your doctor, and all they do is give you a drug to help the problem, but it's also breaking down your body as well. So Jake, you just all fucked up. You don't understand it's the food you eat that's causing your body to break down, because it's not food, it's chemicals. So let me see if there's any more. That's pretty much it, man. I got to the point. But yeah, Lord's will use that if I was them and say shalom. Hey, stop eating fucking noodles, man. And it's not just the noodles, man. A word of advice: try to get um things that are one or two ingredients. Try to eat vegetables, fruit, and really study up on how to how to eat healthy, and exercise. With that, hey, Los Reads out of five. With that, I'm gonna say shalom.